Hey everyone, here at Coaching Change Lives, really excited for all of us. You know what? This year, in year 2022, we got something exciting lined up for you. Many of us have been thinking, hey, you know what? Is coaching really for me? Should I be a coach? How do I improve my conversations? The truth is this: coaching is not just for coaches. Learning coaching skills is essential for everyone, whether you're a leader, you are a youth, you are a parent, you are you have spouses, your husband or wife. Coaching is for you. Learning the coaching skill sets improve a few things. One is your communication with the individual, the appreciation, and also the depth of communication. So I want to encourage you here in this year. How do we listen better? I'm going to in the next coming weeks. I'm going to release a next 10 greatest secrets of being a coach. Right? I'm going to give a little snippet in this very first episode, what I call greatest secret. The next greatest secret number one. The next greatest secret number one is this: that listening can be as hard as you want, or it can be as simple as you like. Listening can be as hard as you want or as simple as you like. Now, what do I mean by this? Why is listening can be as hard as you want or listening as simple as you like? Now, when we think about listening, we often think about what's the person trying to say, right? What are they not saying? What are they saying? So as we try to work it really, really hard, what happens? Our minds and ears get blocked. We're no longer listening to the person. We're listening perhaps to ourselves. And that kind of robbed us, from the ability to really pay attention, to really go deeper with the person. So when we think about this element here, when we listen, it can be a very hard task because we're trying to think about every single thing. And the reason it becomes very hard is because we're trying to listen with our frame of the world. We're trying to listen to the other person through our own lens. And as such, it becomes very, very hard because the way the other individual expresses himself will be distinctly different from how you express yourself in your own world. So if I try to listen, to you from my own lens, it will take a while. It takes a lot of effort, right? Because I may not understand the world the same way as you do. We all live in the same world, but our perception of the world are different. The way we give meaning to the world, the way our philosophies, our principles, and the value systems work are different, right? So when we listen to the things, when we kind of communicate each other, are we having that flexibility to go deeper, to have this communication flexibility to help unravel that element in a greater sense? So this is something going to be important for us as we consider how all these different elements come in play. Now, why do I say also that listening can be as easy as we want? Well, the truth is this: that if we want to really listen to the person, we're not listening to answer them. Okay, that's the secret. If you are listening to answer someone, then you're not truly listening. I'm listening to myself. I'm not listening to the other person, right? So if I'm listening to try to reply that person, I'm not listening. I'm listening to try to reply. When we just say listening can be as simple as you want, it's just pure listening. Listening, just hearing what the person is saying. Now, in some other language, the English language is kind of weak in this. In some other language, you hear this word called shema, which means hear, right? Some language, the way they express the word listen, it's this double sense of listening. It's not just listening with your ears, but listening with your heart, listening to the emotions that's being conveyed across. Not just to the spoken, but also listening to the unspoken, listening to the energy, listening to the entirety of the person. Now, sometimes, for example, we all do this all the time. We may violate several conversational maxims where, perhaps we say, you ask a question, how are you feeling today? Well, I'm feeling kind of good. But you know for a fact that based on the person's expression, they're not feeling good, right? Or you've asked the person, hey, what would you like to eat? And the person said, anything. You know that the subtleties in the tones that it's not really anything, that could be something else as well. So you notice that the human communication is very interesting, very sophisticated, very complex, but yet it has all these different nuances. So how do we then navigate all this? Well, the first step is this: are we listening for something, or are we listening to that individual? That is a distinction. Are we listening for something? Are we listening for a way for us to reply? Are we listening for different elements so that we can ask them questions? Are we listening for an element to catch them off guard? Are we listening to try to solve their problems, or are we listening to them? Just purely listening to them. I know it sounds very simple, but you'll be surprised by the magic of listening. In year 2022 and beyond, one of the most important skill sets to learn, in fact, in all organizations, especially with a more distributed workforce, is the ability to listen. You realize that more and more people are communicating via text, less and less over phone, less and less over video calls, and a lot of people are using text messages. And the way we read the text messages are very, very, very misconstrued. And oftentimes that leads to many miscommunication because in person, the person is a different character. In the text, the person is a different character. And that is the influence of the dissociative states of communication. When I dissociate myself up, my avatar, when texting you, will be different from in person. And sometimes you find there's dissonance. And it's really important for us to learn the skill sets of, are we listening for something or are we listening to something? This is the first next greatest secret of coaching. Are you ready to listen to more? Subscribe to this channel because I'm going to share with you more and more tips as we go along the way. And I want you to let me know in the comment section below, what are you listening to today? Are you listening to your heart? Are you listening to the voices around you? Are you listening to the voice of negativity? Are you listening to the voice of positivity? Are you listening to the voice of saying that you can't? Are you listening to the voices that says, hey, you know what? You're just too young. You're not from the right feet. You don't have the right qualifications. What have you been listening to this year will influence the rest and the refreshing that we will get from this year as well. Because what we listen to will influence how we go. What we listen to will influence how we act on, will influence the energy that's released from us. And that is an important element. Okay, so there you have a very simple tip. Listening can be as hard as you want it, or it can be as simple as you like it to be. Until next time, this is Jada here at Coaching Changes Lives. I look forward to seeing you at one of our programs.